My name is Piper Chapman.
Time to say goodbye.
I love you so much.
I carried a suitcase of drug money once, 10 years ago.
Do you know about all this?
She failed to mention the lesbian lover who ran an international drug smuggling ring.
That's all good.
You were a lesbian? At the time.
Smile.
I wasn't ready.
Tough shit.
You're leaving in a body bag.
Just getting started, bitch.
Hey, go sit there. She's a nice white lady.
We look out for our own.
Our own?
You look great. Your face is like all cheekbony.
They're starving me out.
What?
I have been felt up, stalked, and called Taylor Swift. So can you please just cut me some slack?
I don't need for any of this to happen.
I think I need some time.
What does that mean?
I'm scared that I'm not myself in here, and I'm scared that I am.
You're nothing like any of these women.
I am no different from anybody else in here. I committed a crime. Being in here is no one's fault but my own.
Hello and welcome to KUBBY TV. This is Steve Kubby, your host. And in today's show, we're going to be looking at this remarkably popular new show on Netflix called Orange is the New Black. And this show is able to somehow rally public opinion and interest around drug policy reform, prison reform, ending the war on drugs, all the issues that we as activists care about that have fallen on deaf ears for so long. And yet Jenji Kohan, the creator of Weeds and now the creator of Orange is the New Black, was able to find that intersection of comedy and drama that really gets people wanting to watch this show. And we're going to be talking to Jenji later on, but first we're going to be talking to some of the cast and try to get a better understanding of how it is that they're able to create such a compelling storyline on an issue that the public normally is inclined to ignore. And fortunately, we have, through the magic of digital video, we're able to have Taylor Schilling, the lead actor for the show, who plays the part of Piper Chapman, the young white girl that introduces us into a whole world of Black, Latino, poor, old women and how society treats them. So, Taylor, tell us a little bit about your character.
I'm playing Piper Chapman, and she's sort of a kind of a straight-laced girl who's from Connecticut, and she graduates from Smith College. And after college, she falls in love with this woman, and they have kind of a wild, raucous relationship where they travel all over the world and really enjoy each other's company. And unbeknownst to Piper, she's not unaware of to the full extent that her lover is involved in an international drug trafficking ring. And so Piper ends up getting involved a little bit. And then the relationship ends, and Piper meets a man and moves to Brooklyn and has this very normal life for almost 10 years. And 10 years into her life with her new fiancé, her ex-lover turns her in, and she's indicted on international drug trafficking charges, and she has to go to federal prison for 15 months.
Now, what is it about Orange is the New Black, about this rather unglamorous setting of women in prison that is so compelling, that has people, so many people watching this?
You can't survive on your own in prison. You have to be connected to people. You have to be connected in the right ways to people. And that's why I think it's such a fascinating place for dramatic purposes, because you can't be an island in prison. you cannot survive on your own. You have got to have alliances, and you've got to have alliances with the right people and not the wrong people. So it's driven by relationship.
Another character in The Orange is the New Black is Laura Prepon, who you may recognize from That 70s Show. And Laura, tell us a little bit about the character that you play.
Basically, Alex runs an international drug ring, and she basically takes pretty American girls and turns them into her drug mules and gets them to smuggle drugs across international borders. And she meets Piper in a bar and thinks that she'll be a really good, kind of protege to kind of do this. And they end up falling in love and having this crazy torrid affair. And then everyone who was involved in this drug ring got caught, and so Alex has to go to prison along with Piper.
This is a rather exotic character that you play, lesbian, international drug smuggler. Can you tell us more about your character?
I've never played an international drug smuggler before. And basically it's just, from everything, from the way that my character looks, I mean, having the black hair and the tattoos, and my character's got this whole kind of rockabilly vibe going on, and whenever we see her in flashback, she's always kind of rockabillyed out. And she's just this really kind of like sensual, like manipulative, kind of really, really intelligent, she's just this weird kind of, I don't know, she's a very strange character. I've never played anything like her, and it's been really fun.
Now let's talk to Jenji Kohan, the creator of Orange is the New Black. And Jenji, tell us, what was it about this book by Piper Kerman about her experiences in federal prison that made you feel you could create such a popular new series about women in prison?
When I read the book, I loved the characters. And there were so many stories to tell in that book. And there were characters who I don't think you could sell a series on, but Piper was the perfect entree into this world. You could take this yuppie white girl and follow her in, and through her as like a gateway drug, you can tell all these other stories as well. And I got really excited about that.
Okay, Jenji, so you get the idea to do this series. How do you research it? How do you get that realism, that cutting reality that seems to be so imbued in seamless in the drama that you present?
We did a lot of research. We read a lot of books. We had a visit, we went to Chino, a women's facility in Chino with all the writers. And we went at first and we looked around and we're like, this isn't that bad. And within 10 or 15 minutes, we could not wait to get out of there. It was just like, you can't leave, and you're under the thumb of this bureaucracy, and it's oppressive, and it was not a place you wanted to be. But I was speaking with the assistant warden who had worked in a men's prison, and I said, what's the difference here? And he said, men are out for themselves and women are communal. They form families, they share. And I thought that was just a really interesting difference. I never set out to make Oz. It wasn't men's prison, it was women's prison. And there's a great history of shows about women's prison. And we wanted to just put our spin on it.
You know, I have to tell you, Jenji, when I watch the show, I'm fascinated on how you're able to weave drama, I mean really gripping, edge-of-your-seat drama with comedy. And how do you find that intersection between the two?
Maybe viewers will be surprised by the tone of the show. It's not a dark, ominous women in prison thing. I think humor is a survival technique, and I think if you just did a straight drama about prison, it would become so oppressive. No one would want to be there. It would become oppressive to write. And I find everything funny, which gets me in trouble sometimes. So I think tonally, you know, it's another hybrid. We can go for our dramatic moments and we can go for our comedic moments and not apologize and not have to conform to a specific form for that.
And finally, the big question, how do you reach people in a compelling way on an issue that we as activists find most people don't want to deal with, and yet you're able to create a hit series out of that? So where's your focus? Well, what are you doing that is creating so much interest with your audience?
I just want them talking. I want people to have discussions or fights or arguments or I just want people to talk about it and be invested. I want them to fall in love with these women. I love these women, even when they do horrible things. I want them to fall in love with the characters we've made and care about them. And by caring about them, start maybe thinking about broader issues and how what's happening to them reverberates.
Well, I hope you have enjoyed this special edition of KUBBY TV. We're trying to find the compelling stories out there that affect all of us, and certainly when large numbers of people in our society begin to focus on the criminal justice system, the drug war, the injustice, the pain and the suffering caused by the drug war and the prison industrial complex. This is a good thing, and we need to support this, we need to understand it, and we need to appreciate it. And that was the purpose of today's show, and I hope you enjoyed what we tried to do. In the meantime, this is Steve Kubby on behalf of KUBBYTV.com, PotTV.com, and CannabisCulture.com, wishing you a great 420 day.
So heavy.